All right, hey guys, thanks for joining me again. I had another experience or another encounter from the Lord that I really felt like I could share today. Um, yeah, I just pray that it would bless you as much as it blessed me. I pray that you would go to the Lord and personally ask Him for personal revelation on what this looks like for you. And I pray that He would give you divine instructions and that He would guide your steps and that He would give you more clarity and more wisdom and more discernment than He's even allowed me to have. So I just pray that this would be that it would be eye-opening to you, and also that it would allow you that pathway to take it back to Jesus and just kind of ask Him to reveal more to you and to give you more information, to give you more clarity and more discernment, and that above all, I just pray that it would draw you closer to Him. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's get into it. So this was like a full vision, I guess, that I kind of received from God, that I had tried to copy it, or tried to get it from my mind and put it through words so that I could share it with you guys. And I just pray that He would continue revealing it to you on a personal level. So what I had seen is Jesus was kind of like reaching down towards me, and I looked up and kind of grabbed His hand, and he pulled me up. But it was interesting because it was like we had already been climbing a ladder or something, and because He had kind of reached down from like the floor and pulled me up through the floor, and I registered as like we were in like a tree house, and we were on the opening of the treehouse, and he was lifting me up into the treehouse. And when we got up to the top, I could just see all of the beautiful landscape around me, and the mountains and snow and the trees and the prairies and grass, and it was just beautiful. It was so big, and you could just see everything from where we were sitting. And he pulled me up into the house, and then we went over by the window, and there was apparently like a little bench thing sitting there, and so like we both had kind of sat down on this bench, and Jesus leans back and He puts His arms up, and then kind of kicks up His leg, and He's all relaxed. So I'm like, okay, I can sit next to you and just be all nice and relaxed, like this is great. And then like as He kind of leaned back, all of a sudden like the scene in front of me had changed, and we zoomed back. Like it felt like all of a sudden we were getting further away. And it was interesting because it was like almost like He was like scrolling through, like if you were scrolling through your phone or something, and you just kind of scroll through it and things change and it looks different. And so it was kind of like He swept the scene away, and it pulled us back, and we were no longer like just looking at like the landscape. We had like pulled out into like the atmosphere of like the earth, like you could like see like the continents kind of thing. Like he'd pulled us back really far, and like we're on the edge of space. And then like still He just kind of like sweeps His hand again, and like it changes again, and we zoom out even further, and this time like I can see all of the other planets and like the sun and just like the whole galaxy, like from a distance, and we're still sitting on this bench. And then He like does it again, and we zoom back once more, but we were like so far away, like I didn't even really recognize anything. It was just like we were in this whole new galaxy is about all I can explain, just like stars and like what we know of like the Milky Way, and what it looks like and everything like that. Just like in this whole brand new galaxy. And it was kind of amazing. We sat there for a moment, kind of just looking at the stars and the galaxy, and just like the vast space that we were in, and it was just really amazing. And then Jesus just kind of like reached out His hand after like, so we were in the galaxy, and then He like zoomed us back in so that we were like the, I don't know, aerial view of the earth, like that you would be seeing from space. And He just kind of like plucks the earth out and just kind of like holds it in His hand for a second, just like it's a basketball. And then as He's got it in His hand, he just kind of like starts spinning it, like you would like spin a basketball on your finger. And so He just starts spinning the ball really fast, and like it just spinning on His hand, and it just kept spinning and spinning and spinning. And so like in my spirit, I was like, wow, like, what are you doing? And what does this mean? And so I had asked him, like, what does this mean? What are you trying to show me? This is what I believe he said. I am shaking things up for my children to receive their blessings. I am shaking their blessings out of the earth. Their blessings will come from what was never intended for someone else to have. And then it was like, as the globe was spinning, I could see like little pieces of gold and like money and just all these things just like flying off of the earth, like as it was spinning around, like gold flying off there and some money flying off there. It was like, as it was spinning, it was like loosening all of this money or all of this change, and it was just like falling out of the earth as he was spinning it on his finger. And so I felt like, God is saying he is shaking the blessings from those who took them away by form of counterfeit, and they were never intended for them, and that he is bringing them back to his intended children. And kind of the idea that you can't hold on to what was never intended for you, and that God is going to shake it out of the earth and rightfully give it back to those who he had intended it for. And I also feel like he was, reminding me that you don't have to hold too tightly on anything that he has given you, because he's really given it to you. It is yours to have. He will fight for you, and he wants to freely give it to you as well. So it's not something that you have to hold on to or you have to go out and get. It's what he's going to give to you. And that and what he was saying is he's going to redistribute the wealth back to his people. The wealth is going to be in its rightful place. The wealth will find its rightful place in the kingdom. And then I saw Jesus kind of grab my hand and like pull me up, as if he was like pointing, kind of like lifting me up and then pointing across to the world, I guess, and said, this is all yours. This is all yours for the picking. My children are free to roam the earth as wide and as far as they please. Wherever they go, I will be with them. I will guide them, and I will lead them. I will go before them, and I will make a way. I will protect them. The world is yours for the choosing. And then I could see the globe kind of stop on certain like geographical locations, which geography is not my strong suit, so I'm not sure if that he was speaking to me specific locations or not, but it would just kind of like stop on a specific location, and I could see, a specific geographical area. And then he said, there is ripe fruit for the picking wherever you may go. Follow my voice, and I will lead you. Come now, my child, the world is ripe for your choosing. And then he grabbed my hand and led me into the earth. Like, it was kind of crazy. Like, we just walked right through it. Like, as if it was not formed. It was so interesting. And then we walked inside of it, and it was like this big, huge globe, like a snow globe. And it opened up, and like I could just see all around me, kind of like what the earth would look like from the inside, like kind of like seeing like continents shifting and like water and things like that, but it was from the inside, as if it was like see-through. And it was interesting because there were pieces of earth, like different continents or different land areas, and they were drifting. Like they weren't staying in place. They weren't like settled. They were kind of like drifting around and kind of like reshaping, and like moving as like almost like water. Like the land was moving with the water, and it was so interesting because all of a sudden, then the continents or like the land masses like would kind of be drifting around, and then all of a sudden they'd like lock into each other, and they'd like almost like a lock where you can like pop it into itself and it sticks. And so like different pieces were locking into themselves and moving over here and then locking in, and it was just like, wow, this is crazy. Just like different pieces floating around, and they were floating in the air and then kind of like reshaping what the earth was looking like. The land was changing. It was looking different. And so, kind of asking the Lord, like, what does this mean? And he was saying, well, this is your world and this is his world, but they are the same thing. But he was trying to show me, like, this is how he sees it. This is how he sees our world. This is how he sees earth. This is how he sees his creation. He said, I see the world as an ever-evolving process that allows all of the pieces to fit in where they need to over time. They never have to stay in the same place forever, but they are granted the freedom to move around and rearrange as they see fit. As time goes on, you will see different alliances form within the compounds of the world, and you will see my hand moving upon many other nations. But it all starts with you, the United States of America. They are my chosen people, the land of the free. I am shaking and reshaping the ways of the world, and I will bring the enemy to his knees. He stands no chance against me, for I stand with Lady Liberty, and all her glory will be redistributed to her in her due time. Justice is coming. Justice is on the way. Justice is in the air. But I need my people to pray. And then I kind of saw God like wrap up the earth, like, like it was this really big ball of earth, and he just kind of like crumples it and like, makes it into this tiny little ball, and he's just holding the ball in his hand. And he's and what he wrapped it up into a ball and placed it in his hand, and he said the entire world fits in the palm of my hand, so there is no request that is too grand. And then he said, I will do what is right for my people, and they will see their glorious land. And then I saw him hand me the ball, the earth ball, handed it to me, and he placed it in my hands, and he said, the world looks to you and all of my children. And it was just this like mind-boggling imagery and like vision of this is how God sees our earth and how he sees us, and his creation is just so magnificent. But also, I just feel like this word is really confirmation that God is righting the wrongs of the world, and that like he is restructuring what it might look like, what it might sound like, where we might be going. I really feel like this is, encouragement to people who are feeling called to different geographical locations, maybe like on a permanent basis, if that's something that the Lord's calling you to actually move to, or maybe there's specific geographical locations he's calling you to travel to, or to experience different cultures, or, to just like step out and try these new things, and you're like, I don't know, this seems really random, this seems really strange, or really out of the blue. And I just really feel like it's kind of God saying like, yeah, the world is yours. The world is yours for the choosing. Like, go and enjoy it, go and explore it. Like, he is with you, he has gone before you. So I just really feel like if there's other places that you're feeling called to go to, obviously take it to the Lord, and this would be confirmation to you if this is what he's already been speaking to you, and it will resonate in your spirit. But that his spirit is all around the world. He is an all-encompassing God. So if there might be other places where he wants you to experience him there in a different capacity than you could have maybe experienced him here, and that I just really feel like he's talking a lot about justice. He's talking a lot about redistributing the wealth and bringing it back to his kingdom, bringing it back to his children, bringing it back to what his intended purpose for wealth was for, which was for you to be a blessing to other people. As he blesses you, as he blesses me, as he blesses us, then we are to be a blessing to all of those around us. And for his kingdom, it's for his glory, it's for his goodness, it's for his name's sake that he gives these things to his children. And I just feel like we've been living in a long period of, celebrities and, these big millionaires, billionaires who are just, they're not for God, they are not of God, and they're not promoting the kingdom. They're not helping God's purpose move forward. And so I really feel like that this is him saying like he's redistributing that wealth. He is shaking up the world, and he is redistributing that wealth to his people, to his chosen children who have been faithful, who have been obedient, who hear his voice, who follow him, who step out in faith, who bless others without, thinking for themselves, but that he sees you. He's seen your heart. He knows your heart, that he wants to give to you. He wants to be able to redistribute that to his children who have been so faithful and so obedient to him. And I really love the visual of like as he was spinning the earth, that all of the money or all of the wealth, whatever you want to call it, was just flying out of it, because like it should be God's, like it's a hard concept, but like our wealth, our money, our financial, he has blessed us with that, and we should be able to bless others with that. And so I feel like it's him kind of saying like, I'm taking this back and I am putting it where I see fit and where it needs to go for my kingdom to be expanded, for me to be able to reach the other areas of the world, to be able to reach more children, to be able to love more people. And so I really feel like this word, this vision, all of it, kind of plays in together, that like he is a God of justice, and that he is taking it back, and he is redistributing it to his chosen people, and he is such a good father. He is such a good father. And so there's a couple scriptures here that I really liked from the Passion Translation. This first one is from Proverbs 8, and it says, I will show my love to those who passionately love me, for they will search and search continually until they find me. Unending wealth and glory come to those who discover where I dwell. The riches of righteousness and a long, satisfying life will be given to them. What I impart has greater worth than gold and treasure, and the increase I bring benefits more than a windfall of income. I lead you into the ways of righteousness to discover the paths of true justice. Those who love me gain great wealth and a glorious inheritance, and I will fill their lives with treasures. I mean, I don't know about you, but I just feel like that is an amazing scripture right there, that wow, everyone who has been pursuing God and just following him with, everything that they're doing in their life, that he has seen that, and he wants to reward you for that, and that he owns all of the wealth anyway. And so it's just so encouraging. I just really, really love that, the Passion Translation version of that. And then the other one is Psalms 95. It says, for the Lord is the greatest of all. He is King God over all other gods. In one hand he holds the mysteries of the earth, and in the other hand he holds the highest mountain peaks. He's the owner of every ocean, the engineer and the sculptor of earth itself. And for me, I love nature. I love creativity. I love how creative God is. He is just magnificent. And so for me, it's like, yeah, God knows he created this earth. He created you, he created me, he created all of us. And so just to know he can blend it all together in a perfect way, and that he has a plan for all of it, is so encouraging. And that none of this is meant to be, alarming, but it's supposed to be comforting and encouraging for us to know that God is fighting for us, and he has a plan for all of it, and he's bringing it all around for your good, and to be joyfully expectant and excited to see what he's going to do. It makes me excited, and I love when he shows me these kinds of visions, because I can picture it, I can feel it, and I love Jesus. I love when he shows up. I love when he personally meets me here, and he takes me into his world, and he shows me what it looks like and what it feels like and what he sees and what he experiences, because I just love how he sees us and how he sees the world around us. It's so beautiful. It literally makes me forget about everything else going on in the world, that yeah, the world is crazy and it is a little messy, and things are happening that we don't want to be happening. But I feel like when he shows me these things, he reminds me that it is actually still glorious, and it is still beautiful, and he still has a purpose in all of it. And so I really pray that that it would just kind of open up your eyes, that there is a lot out there that God can do, and that he is wanting to do, and to be open to it and listen to those promptings, listen to those small desires of your heart or your interests, or and just see what the Lord is doing for you and what that looks like for you, because I know he's personally raising some things up within inside of me about all of these ideas and all of these plans and all these dreams and hopes that he has for me. And so I pray that he does that same thing for you. I pray that you would experience your own visions from him. And I pray that he would meet you right where you're at, right here, right now, and that he would meet you and he would download his divine instructions, that he would speak to you, that you would feel his presence, that you would know his voice, that you would just be able to experience him in a greater way and in a greater capacity, and maybe in a way that you've never experienced before. And that he wants to give that to you. And I pray that you would be able to receive that and experience that from him as well. So I think that's everything for now. I pray that this word would reach who it needs to reach. I pray that that it would bless who it needs to bless, and above all, I really just pray that it would bring you closer to Jesus, and that you would hear his heart in this, and that this isn't about me, this is about him, this is about your relationship with him, and that he has all of the treasures of the world that he wants to show you, and that we just get to go on this journey with him. And so thank you for being on this journey with me, and I look forward to sharing more as the Lord reveals it to me. I pray that you have a blessed day. Bye.